Hey guys, I'm back after a long time and today I'm doing a review of Squid Game. Yep, that is right. The hype got to me too and I finally watched it. And right off, it is fucking brilliant. Alright, it's one of the best TV series I've seen in a long time. I binged the whole series twice. It was absolutely worth it. Of course, I have only two issues with the entire series, and I shall put them up front before I discuss anything else. It's the very last scene of the series, which goes completely against the character build up that the guy had. I will not mention what it is, but yeah, the very last scene is a forced scene just to force in season two, and that sucks. And then the second last episode about the investigating officer and whatever, that's obviously plugged in just to extend season two, did not fit in with the whole series as a whole, and that's about it. So basically, commercialization is the bane of its existence. But apart from that, apart from these two little loopholes and a few related loopholes to these two things, the entire series is brilliant. What I love about it is the way it gets into human desperation and the human psyche in desperation. It literally charts out people of different kinds and the way they behave, and it's absolutely insightful. Every character has a reason to be. All right, and in terms of the character graphs, it is spot on. It's like psychologically intense. I personally love Korean films and Korean gore, right? I'm a major Korean gore fan, and this one obviously doesn't disappoint. It's right up there with some of my favorites, and the gore again is justified. Like, I have absolutely no words for this one. It is brilliant. You have to watch it, right? In terms of character graph and character plotting of the characters, the entire first episode is dedicated to establishing the character and the desperation and the situation of the lead, which is fair. And then as the series goes on, you see his character evolve and develop and show its better attributes from what you had earlier seen him, and then your opinion about him starts to change. All right. And how other characters that have come in with different psyches and different reasons to be sort of get into their own, and some eventually just return to what they were initially, and sometimes even to the worst of it. All right. Uh, a little bit of trivia: the writer of the show wrote the show 10 years ago, and he was rejected by a lot of production houses and channels. And finally, he made it. And as soon as it released, it's number one on Netflix and trending around the world. And that actually goes to say a lot about the writer life in films, right? A lot of writers out there write amazing stuff. It's not like writers do not write amazing stuff. It's just like production houses are mostly influenced by the same random shit they're used to producing. And the only people who actually get their foot into production houses are people with already having good contacts and come from the family or industry to push them and lick each other's asses and get them ahead, right? Even in India, I know so many amazing people who write amazing stuff, but they don't get their foot into channels and production houses, and their content remains stuck. So, all writers out there, please take an example from this and hold on to your good work. The audiences will mature, your time will come. Just don't give up. All right, keep your good stuff. Coming back to Squid Game, what I love about it is the way it takes innocent games of childhood and contrasts it into drastically dark and evil psychological games is brilliant. It hits you, right? That contrast is actually what makes it so severe. When we are playing childhood games, we so casually say, "Oh, I touched you, you're dead. Oh, you're out, you're dead." But when that dead starts meaning real life dead, how gruesome it seems, and the way it plays out on your mind, it's brilliantly shown in the series, right? Uh, in terms of taking the characters from all walks of life and showing that greed or desperation is not limited to a certain strata is very well shown, right? Also, the difference in the mindset of the rich and poor, right, is shown brilliantly well in the series, right? The people who are exorbitantly rich, the people who are rich, the people who go from poor to rich and the people who are eternally poor, the difference in their psyches is spot on. Like this entire show is a psychological exercise in my perspective. It actually is very insightful into the way people think, right? You have the greedy, highly educated stock market fraud who actually comes from humble beginnings, but how his mentality is and the way he sees things and the way he's willing to take advantage of other people despite other people being good to him and kind to him, and how he uses his kindness as a front to make people obey him. It is so brilliant. Like I don't know a single person who wouldn't identify with these characters in the show, with some character in their life or even themselves at a certain level, right? And that is what makes Squid Game actually beautiful. It's not the gore, it's not the complexity of the story, it is how humane it is, how very like real it is in the way you can identify it on psychological human levels. That is what makes it actually beautiful, right? And if you haven't watched it yet, please go watch it. If you have watched it, let me know what you thought about it. Let me know what your reactions were to certain scenes or certain events. Did certain scenes really really hit you deep or make you think? Let me know, and I shall be happy to have a live about this once all the comments are in, and let's do a live talk about this and all discuss Squid Games together. Till then, this is Pushkar Shirke, and I hope you go watch Squid Games. I rate it a 9 out of 10, and it's right up there with one of my favorite series of all time. Like, it's definitely my top 10 TV series of all time right away. All right, so go watch it. Squid Game. See ya.